The WWE has had some insane storylines, insane things happen over its history, but which ones were true? Which ones really did happen? That's the question that we aim to answer here today. I'm joined by Tally, my fiance, who I got into pro wrestling with about a year and a half ago. And we like to play a game here on this channel where you guys over on the Patreon submit things that either did or did not happen in pro wrestling history. So you guys either completely made something up that sounds like something they would do, or you told us something wild that did happen that maybe doesn't sound possible. And Tally is going to be on the receiving end of playing this game. She'll be our contestant once again, and we'll see how many she can get right. And for everyone that she gets right, within 24 to 48 hours after this video goes up, there will be a community post with a link for that many people to join the Patreon for a month for free, a free 1 month membership to the Patreon. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you see the community post when that does happen, and root for Tally here to do a good job.
Wish me luck.
First one's from WWE J Gaming. When Edge won his first WWE championship for the first time, he and Lita had a bra and panties wedding to celebrate on Monday Night Raw.
Was Lita still part of all of that? Because, oh, man, that's a really good one to start with. Gosh darn it. I feel like she might have been like the tail end of that kind of thing, right? I don't know. Was Edge there for something like that? Didn't we see something like that in like ECW? Was that?
Oh, we definitely saw Edge doing some thrust.
That's what we thought. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay.
I remember seeing some of that on one of the Patreon matches.
Yeah. So because we've seen Edge specifically involved with something like that, and I think Lita was still kind of part of that age, I'd say yes, this is true.
Submission is actually false, and that the real answer is honestly worse.
Oh, I should have known. I should have known.
The real answer is that they actually celebrated by having relations live in the ring on Monday Night Raw.
What? I'm sorry. Why?
It was a different time, I think, is the best way we can describe it. I have to imagine it was like acted, because it would be insane for it not to be.
Yeah, there's no way that actually happened.
But I have seen, like, I don't even know if it's been clips. I think I've seen screenshots where there was literally a bed in the middle of the ring, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably this.
They even included a bed. Why did I think it was just gonna be it's just in the ring? Well,
that would be even crazier. Honestly, at least in a bed there could be sheets and you could just simulate it like a movie.
You're telling me it's not crazy to have a bed in the ring?
I didn't say it wasn't crazy.
They brought in a whole bed for that.
Really quick, I want to say thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now, if you spend as much time online as me, there's a real chance that your data has been exposed in the last year by careless companies. Worst of all, just a few months ago, National Public Data announced that they had suffered a major breach, potentially exposing over 2.9 billion records that are used for background checks. That includes your name, address, your birthday, phone number, even your social security number. And hackers have already made this sensitive information freely available, which means if you're not protecting yourself, you're more vulnerable than ever. That's why I use today's sponsor, Aura. Aura monitors your personal info like your social security number across billions of data points, including the dark web, and sends real-time alerts for potential threats. They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance if the worst were to happen. And on top of that, Aura offers tools like a VPN for secure browsing, a password manager, and even helps you opt out of data brokers selling your info. Don't leave yourself exposed. Click the link in the description or visit aura.com/Deporticus to get a 2-week free trial and find out right now if your personal data has already been compromised. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring. Now back to the video. Matt Thunder says a 10-year-old child and Michael Cole has just as many Wrestlemania wins as Sasha Banks.
Yeah, so a 10-year-old child and Michael Cole. Not combined, right? Just individually?
It just says both of them have just as many WrestleMania wins as Sasha Banks. Now, we know Michael Cole has a win at WrestleMania. We witnessed it recently.
We did see one.
That was a match that was submitted not too long ago. So we know it's more than 0.
And Sasha Banks was part of the 4 Horsewomen, right?
Yes.
So she has to have at least one. But the 10-year-old child, who was the 10-year-old child? And who did that child face? But if they did have one, wait, you know?
I would say if I'm using context clues here, that was probably like maybe it was like a Make-A-Wish thing or something.
Oh.
I feel like I have seen clips where they like, I think it was like Triple H like sells for
I was
like
thinking
a kid.
like,
I don't know if that was WrestleMania though, so I don't know.
I was thinking like Dominic Mysterio at 10 years old, like did some crazy shit. Sasha Banks has to have this one. I'm gonna say true.
The answer is true. They say,
Yes.
Matt says, you guys already know about Michael Cole, but as for the child at WrestleMania 34, the child, who was the son of one of the referees, was picked out of the crowd by Braun Strowman to beat Sheamus and Cesaro for the Raw Tag Team titles. They would relinquish the titles the next night due to the kid, whose name is Nicholas, having school.
I love
That's
there's
funny.
like an actual reason like that. Not just he's a kid. He's got school.
Said Sasha's only Mania win was at her last Mania, where her and Naomi won the women's tag titles before both of them walking out between late April, early May.
Really? She's only won a tag team title.
She's 1-6 at Mania.
Wow.
But at the end of the day, that's 7 Mania matches. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just, you know what I mean? Anytime anyone's like, wow, they've lost 7 times at Mania. They've also had 7 matches at
Still
WrestleMania.
at Mania 7 times.
There's something to that.
So yeah. You got a point.
Christopher Barnes says, on an episode of Monday Night Raw, Kane attacked Shane McMahon, tied him up to the ring post, and attempted to electrocute his junk on live TV.
I was wondering if that's why you were hesitating. Is that now it's listed in the comment? So he attempted to electrocute his junk.
Yes.
Why does that also seem like plausible? Like this.
Vince was an interesting person. That's a true thing.
I totally feel like that's something that could have happened, but I think, like, I feel like it's like the whole body. Like he was trying to, like, I don't know. How do you do? Do you have to like connect something to the junk directly?
I'm guessing this is like a car battery situation.
Oh, I picture it much differently. I was thinking like
Or a
electrical
taser.
chair,
Could
and
be a
then he
taser.
also had.
It would not be the first taser to make an appearance on WWE, so.
What would you classify that as electrocute though? Wouldn't someone just say tase?
I mean, that's how a taser works. It electrocutes you, so yeah.
I'm going to say false. I think that's too direct.
Fair enough. Christopher Barnes says the answer is true.
Damn it.
This happened on the September 1st edition of Monday Night Raw in 2003. This was months after Kane unmasked and went psycho.
Oh, I didn't consider Psycho Kane.
No one ever does.
Makes so much more sense now.
The blue one says, in the last Truth or Lie challenge, I mentioned Asuka's undefeated streak in NXT. She won 10 out of her 10 matches at NXT takeovers, and that was the truth. So I will follow up on the previous one, and this time I'll state that despite being undefeated in NXT, Asuka lost all 6 out of 6 matches at WrestleMania. This makes her the worst female performer in WWE history when it comes to WrestleMania win-loss ratio. So they're saying, so the truth or lie is Asuka lost all 6 out of 6 matches at WrestleMania. This makes her the worst female performer in WWE history when it comes to WrestleMania win-loss ratio.
Damn, did they really do Asuka that dirty?
So I think we already know that she hasn't. We knew that she hadn't won, right? That's
so we're looking at the worst ratio. Is what
right.
We're looking
So
at.
the truth or lie
okay.
here is Does this make her I'm assuming, because I'm
Ooh.
99% sure that's what was mentioned in the last one, was that she
That did
went
sound
over
a little
6.
familiar, but I didn't want to be wrong.
So this makes her the worst female performer in WWE history when it comes to WrestleMania win-loss ratio.
Oh, dang. Not getting a single win out of 6. That's got to be the worst, unless someone has more. I mean, having 0 wins out of that many, I'm gonna say that's true.
It is true.
Aw, Asuka.
Between WrestleMania 34 and 40, she lost to Flair, lost to Women's Battle Royal, lost to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, lost to Rhea Ripley, lost to Bianca Belair, and lost to Bianca Belair, Jade, and Naomi. That makes her 0-6. That puts her at the bottom of the women's WrestleMania record list.
Aw, she deserves better than that.
I would agree.
When you come back, Asuka, you should get a win.
If she gets another WrestleMania match, you know that's going to be the main story. Like, is she going to finally...
I'm gonna be following that. Like, she needs this.
Bob the Cow says, when Edge and Mick Foley had their WrestleMania match, Edge's girlfriend Lita got thrown through a burning table with the guys.
With the guys. She seems like she'd be okay with that. She seems like she's pretty badass. I'm just gonna say, quick, easy, true. I feel like she'd be so willing to do that.
Turns out it's a quick, easy false. Bob the Cow says only Edge and Mick went through the burning table. Lita merely set the table on fire.
You know what? She's part of it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You can take it. The points, however, will not.
Hey.
Chad says, in 2001, after suffering a real-life concussion, WWE turned Perry Saturn into a character who fell in love with a mop named Moppy. He treated it like a real person until Raven threw it into a wood chipper, causing Saturn to have a meltdown.
I have to
I tried to just be serious, yes, of course.
And here I am just huh? Had a concussion in real life. Fell in love with the mop? AKA Moppy.
Moppy.
I have to remember the name. Because now I'm attached
Tough
to
to
it
remember.
because it has a name. And then someone named Raven threw it in a wood chipper.
Causing Saturn to have a meltdown.
Is that pushing it? I can't, oh man, it's so hard to tell. It's so silly. So silly that I'm going to say false.
Chad says, true.
Dang it!
This really did happen. No further detail, just, yep, that happened.
Poor Saturn.
Poor Moppy.
Well, yeah.
Got thrown in a wood chipper.
Did he get a new Moppy or did he get Broomy?
I have no follow-up. Johnny Williams says, in 2005, WWE introduced Muhammad Hassan, an Arab American wrestler who felt discriminated against. On July 7th episode of SmackDown, his faction attacked The Undertaker with masked men in camouflage and choke wires. Just days after the London terrorist bombings, the backlash was so bad that WWE had to scrap his character permanently.
That is terrible. I hope this is false, but I'm going to say true.
Just because sounds like something they do.
Exactly.
Well, unfortunately, you are right. This is true.
No way.
But you get the point. So,
I get the point, but to scrap someone's whole character because of that? Did they get let go, or they just had to they give him a new character?
Sounds like it was just scrapped permanently, but Johnny says this is true. WWE ran a terrorist angle on live television just days after a real life terrorist attack. That is some tone deaf shit.
I'm sorry. It doesn't even matter if it happens right after something that happened in real life. Why even recreate something like that?
It's 2005 and it's Vince McMahon. I don't know what else to tell you.
Why, Vince? That's just so... That's just No.
It's also, I also want to throw in that this is only 4 years after 2001.
Yeah.
So even if there hadn't been something that happened the same week, that still feels like it was close enough that that would be a weird thing to turn into a character. All right. Anyway, Charlie says Roman Reigns was never in the original plans for the Shield trio.
That's it. That's the only thing.
That's all I got.
Was never in the original plans. Dang, I feel like I should know something like this. How did they think they were all in NXT together, no?
I don't remember. I only remember them having a big reveal, and we saw that in a recent Patreon video. Because I don't think that was the first time they were seen together. It was like when they popped up on the main show. I don't know.
Oh, you think that? I think that might be true. I think that was the first time they were seen together.
Because I remember the
as a
announcers being
faction.
like, "Who are these guys?" Like, and if they were
Yeah,
like
it
an
wasn't like
established
a
faction, I
known.
feel like, I don't know.
I have a feeling they were all in NXT, so I don't see why he wouldn't have been a part of the original plans. I'm gonna say false.
Charlie says it's true. Originally on the house show circuit, the team that would become the Shield was going to consist of Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Big E, and a former Ring of Honor wrestler called Chris Hero. Triple H convinced Vince, nice, to replace Hero with Roman on the house shows. Hero was CM Punk's idea. And then Big E was removed before their TV debut as they had other plans for him. And I guess he became Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard.
So there were other people planned to be in his place, not even just like
Yeah.
a two-man faction or whatever, like tag team or whatever. Like there were completely different plans with different people.
According to
I
Charlie.
never knew that. Big E and
Yeah.
some guy named Hero. I don't know who Hero is.
Whoever it was, I
Wow.
guess that was CM Punk's idea, which they went away from.
Now, gosh, what would have happened if he wasn't part of the Shield? Like, I wonder if he wouldn't have been as hated or something, because like
Maybe.
he wouldn't have been like forced to be in this character. He would have just been brought up as something.
Just
Oh
think of how much
wow.
different even like WrestleMania 40, because like the whole chair shot thing was because of the Shield. Like all those little things, those are
Yeah.
all references to the Shield. So things would be very different. A lot of moments would have not happened or gone
See,
differently.
Triple H knows what he's doing. Trust Papa H.
Let him cook. Paul Watson says there was a storyline in the 2000s where Tim White, a WWE referee, injured his shoulder in a Hell in a Cell match and was forced to retire. This proceeds into weekly interviews where he tells the interviewer life isn't worth living anymore and he would attempt to himself every single week. This would be played up as comedic as well. So they were making it like a comedy act.
That doesn't sit well with me. Making that a comedic act as someone who wants to like unalive. Just because I hate that idea. I hate that so much. That feels so. Wait, when was this? What year?
Just says in the 2000s.
Oh, that's very possible.
This becomes much more possible once you get that.
I hate the idea, but I'm gonna say it's true.
Paul says the answer is true. And they say,
Wow.
yeah, I don't really know what Vince was thinking. And they put in parentheses, does anybody?
Fair.
As this was done in poor taste and made the entire premise of self unalive. I don't know what I can say and what I can't on YouTube. Forgive me, everybody. But the premise of that as a joke, deeply uncomfortable. So
Yeah, I can completely understand that. Even today, especially today. Back then, even that's too far, Vince.
RW____96 says, since it's Rumble season, I have a fun one. The Miz has appeared in 15 Royal Rumbles. In total, he has been in the match for a combined time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 58 seconds. So with that being said, true or false, The Miz has only got 2 eliminations in the 15 Rumbles he's been in. So everything prior to that is true. That's what I'm gathering. That's information for you.
Yeah,
So,
but
with
I'm
all that
guessing if there's two.
information, true or false, The Miz only has 2 eliminations in the 15 Rumbles that he's been in.
No. 2? 15 Rumbles, and you're gonna tell me that man's only got 2? Nah, they gotta love Miz a little more than that. Watch. Okay, I'm picking false, but wait, it's gonna be like, no, yeah, you're right. It was 1. I'm picking false. He had more than that.
The answer is true. He's only had 2 eliminations, which were R-Truth and Alex Riley, but he did eliminate Cena one year, but it was not in the Rumble match as he was WWE champion at the time. So if I had been playing, I would have taken into consideration that 2 hours and 12 minutes over 15 Rumbles is a very short amount of time when you consider like how long the Rumble is. It's usually like between an hour and like an hour and 20. Because you know when like somebody comes in first and they win it or something, it's like, wow, they were in there for like a total of like an hour and 6 minutes or something.
Right.
So my thought would have been, that doesn't sound like a lot for 15 Rumbles. That's like a pretty low average. That sounds like he's the guy who goes in, does something kind of silly, pisses someone off, and gets eliminated by the babyface kind of thing.
I get what you're saying. That's a good point. I also just think you don't need to be in there for very long to eliminate. You could hop in real quick, eliminate someone, and someone gets you right after. You don't need that much time to get someone out.
Beach, the editor, could you get a calculator really quick and put on screen what the average time per Rumble that means it was for Miz?
Oh man, I gotta do math. Let's see, calculator. Where is it? There it is. So 132, 58 divided by 15. It's 8.9 minutes.
Wow, that's crazy. Whatever that number is. CG says Vince McMahon was once so upset about the botched ending to a pay-per-view main event that he injured multiple body parts entering the ring and couldn't yell standing up.
Okay, this sounds actually pretty darn familiar to something we may have seen.
Ah, you may be using some. We maybe have seen enough things that you may know what this is.
I can't remember exactly where it happened. I don't remember exactly what was it. Was it? Hmm. I keep changing my mind. Was it when 2 people were eliminated at the same time and they didn't know what to do?
I think that is exactly what it was.
I think I have to say true. I think I have actually like
Yeah,
seen this happen.
we know this one. I don't know if we've seen the match. I can't remember
No,
if we've
it's
seen
just
this. Like,
clips
I
of
think
it.
we've just seen like the clips of it. But yeah, CG says true. They say they won't spoil which Rumble it was, but after a botch resulted in a perfect draw, Vince stormed to the ring and tore both of his quads entering. He proceeded to sit angrily, and the match was reset.
Oh yeah, I remember
Uh,
that now.
so yeah, we definitely knew about that moment because we still make jokes during like streams or whatever, like about
We
tearing
do.
quads and whatever. So John Coffey says Billy Joe Travis, a wrestler in Memphis, was actually arrested on live Memphis wrestling TV by police for not paying child support payments. This was then turned into an angle on TV with Billy cutting promos about the situation.
That actually sounds really funny. I want to see that. That sounds really funny. I'm saying true. That totally seems reasonable. I think that'd be a great storyline to have. I'm saying true.
John says this is true, and here's the footage for you to watch of him being arrested. If I remember to do so, I will include the link in the description for anybody who wants to check that out themselves. I can't play it on YouTube, I'm sure, but we'll check it out. And yeah. Gavin Wade says 13-time world champion Kurt Angle's last match ever was a loss to Baron Corbin at WrestleMania 35 that lasted 6 minutes and 5 seconds.
Wow. Okay. I only have like not so great. I'm not gonna say opinions, but like I don't know. I don't think Baron Corbin's that good. I don't think we saw him in like his
We have
prime
not seen him
years.
at his best. I will say that.
Yeah.
I've heard much
It's
better things about his times that we were not watching.
yeah, like there was like the King Corbin stuff whenever maybe like that he was much better then, but I've never seen him do great stuff. And to beat Kurt Angle in like 6 minutes at Mania?
The Kurt Angle's last match ever was losing to Baron Corbin at WrestleMania 35 in a match that was 6 minutes and 5 seconds.
That is a specific time, but I don't. Was he that good, you think, to beat him in 6 minutes? I'm gonna say false. I think if he did beat him, it was a longer time. I don't think they'd take Kurt Angle out like that.
I will say for clarification that it would be technically against the rules of the game for them to make the thing that
The
is
time
false.
different?
They'd be like,
Okay.
oh, it was actually 10 seconds longer. So that shouldn't be the thing. And right there, what just happened is the reason why that's a rule. So you don't hyper focus on something unimportant and say an
Okay,
answer
hold
you
on
wouldn't
then.
mean. So
So I guess I'm just thinking that if it even happened in general.
yes, just did it happen? Don't worry about was it exactly 5 seconds, because they cannot submit that kind of false or true or whatever.
Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna stick with my gun. I don't think I haven't seen enough from him to think that he could do that. I'm gonna say false.
Gavin says, sadly, this is true.
No.
One of my favorite wrestlers from before I started watching at WrestleMania 35, Angle, lost to Corbin in his final match. On the Raw after WrestleMania, Angle attacked Corbin and was subsequently attacked by a debuting Lars Sullivan. Afterwards, Angle transitioned into a backstage role as a producer.
Wow. I can't believe that. Like, maybe I just haven't seen enough of him to fully believe it. Sounds like other people were disappointed by it. I'm sad that happened.
Ventus Starks says Triple H once had a pay-per-view match with a mentally disabled wrestler who likes to pretend he's other famous wrestlers.
I mean, I don't know. Initially, I was thinking that it was portrayed in a negative way, but it could be a good way. Like, he could be like doing a cool match with him.
It depends. What I don't see is the detail here is whether or not they were actually mentally disabled. That's a key. That would be the key. If it's somebody portraying someone mentally disabled, then you know damn well it was not done in good taste. But there is
I
no
didn't
detail
consider.
here.
Oh no. Now you're making. Now I think it's true because it's someone acting that's mentally Yeah, I'm gonna say it's true. I think it's someone portraying it.
Venta says, sadly, it's true. And they say sadly, so I'm assuming it was not done in good taste.
No.
Sadly, it's true. It's Triple H versus Eugene at SummerSlam 2004. I just want to point out a lot of when people say something was true, so many in here are people saying, sadly, it's true. Like, it's like,
we all
unbelievably,
acknowledge-
it is true.
Man,
so
some crazy shit happened back then.
based on that, I'm going to assume that, I'm going to assume it was somebody portraying.
Man, why did they do that kind of stuff?
Daniel Carpio says Vince McMahon announces a bizarre contest to find WWE's new, quote, face of the company, involving a series of ridiculous challenges like pie eating contests, karaoke battles, and even a dance-off. The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho dominate the comedic dominate the comedic competitions, while Stone Cold Steve Austin, disgusted by the antics, vows to sabotage the whole thing. During a cooking challenge, Austin spikes Vince's chili with beer, causing Vince to storm off in a rage, only to return later with Hornswoggle, claiming he's the new frontrunner. The Rock and Jericho form a temporary alliance to expose Hornswoggle's cheating, but it backfires when Kurt Angle wins a musical chairs contest by suplexing everybody, declaring himself the true champion. The final showdown is an over-the-top obstacle course featuring a zipline over a pool of gravy, a ladder match for Vince's golden cowboy hat, and a cage match against a team of mascots. In a shocking twist, Shane McMahon appears disguised as a mascot and knocks Jericho into the gravy, allowing Hornswoggle to steal the hat and win. The story ends with Austin crashing the celebration in a beer truck, stunning everyone, declaring himself the real, quote, face of WWE, while chugging beer and riding down the ramp in an office chair. I will not be repeating any of that.
That sounds like a blast. Are you serious?
That sounds like a Wrestlemania. Like, that needs to be a whole Wrestlemania thing.
God. Just, oh my God. I was gonna say what year is it, but I don't think it really matters. That was like, I was imagining every single part in my head, specifically the zip lining over the gravy. And then the suplexing everybody. Was that musical chairs?
To win musical chairs by suplexing everybody.
I want to see this so bad. I want this to be true so badly. I don't know. Do you think Vince would have that much fun with something? That seems too fun. This seems too like.
It's like this sounds too good. Can't be true.
like something wrong must have happened. Like this is too good to be true. But because I actually do want it to be true, like I want it to happen, so I can see clips of this at some point. I'm saying true.
Daniel says, lie.
No.
Daniel says, I made it all up. They've ran with so many dumb and outrageous storylines, and I wanted to come up with my own and see how it fares with y'all. And you can see,
I loved it.
That whole thing very over with us.
I knew it was too good to be true. I should have gone with my gut.
What if the lie was, ooh, the gravy was Mountain Dew? Sorry. Just a little detail. I knew that one was coming, and that's the first time I had actually read the whole thing. I had only seen that the answer was that they came up with their own outrageous thing, and it did not disappoint. So Daniel, that's hilarious. That is fantastic.
I loved it. So I should have known. I said it was too good to be true. I should have gone with my gut, but I loved it. That was a great story.
So let us know. Did you enjoy that? Do you enjoy these videos? Because we absolutely enjoy making them. If you played along, let us know how you did. Check the score at the top or wherever on the screen that it may be. Whatever that number is, that's how many free 1 month Patreon subscriptions will be given out in the community tab of this channel over the next couple of days. So make sure you check that out. Did you have fun?
I had a blast. I absolutely love going through these. It's tough though, and most of these are set in the 2000s because I feel like I could stay true to anything and it could have been real. But I mean, I have a blast whenever this happens. I hope the people that get their free Patreon memberships enjoy their memberships, but I hope we get to keep doing these. I have such fun doing this with you.
This is a very fun series to do, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Let us know if you do. Thank you to all the patrons that are flying up the screen somewhere. They're going everywhere right now. They're flying around. Yeet. Yeet. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.